Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim. Last time we cleared out Mistvale Keep, Jarl's Quarters, and the Riften Jail. Today we are starting out in Romlin Dreth's house. I actually don't think he's home. I don't need to see the other room to be sure before I stop sneaking. I think you'll notice I've solved my lag problem. I'm pleased. I realized that the issue was I was keeping all of the videos on my main hard drive, and as my backlog built up, because I'm trying to get as many recorded as possible before I start lawyering on January 2nd, I think all that excess stuff cluttering the, well, not cluttering the hard drive, but all those videos I had yet to upload were taking up so much memory that the computer was slowing down. So I moved the entire backlog over to an external hard drive, and I'm rather pleased with the results. It really seems like the lag has gone down. We're, who knows how long it'll be until this is uploaded. I'm recording this on December 23rd. I start lawyering full-time, for real, on January 2nd, so once that hits, I think I'll be lucky if I can record one video a week. Such is the nature of entering the workforce, I suppose. Until then, I'm recording as fast as I can, building up a pretty big backlog.
I'm looking to stay alive. Why take a chance?
A single one, quite expensive, also quite Gosh,
I'm not paying for it.
the fairest prices and the highest quality in Skyrim.
Next up, we have Valendor's house. We haven't met Valendor yet, so we're gonna have to actually pick the lock to his place. We've read of crossed daggers. This is a one room, so I suppose we can just go clockwise through here. During the day means people aren't in their houses. Of course, when I ultimately need to track those people down to pick their pockets and speak to them, that can get a little more complicated, but not too bad. Oh, my mistake, it's not a one-roomer. Oh, come on, no, I want you to take that gold, free boy. There you go. That's more like it. Red Horker attacks. Should be detecting life every time I'm out in the market. I don't know why I keep forgetting. Then if I'm not in the market, I should just hit something with telekinesis. Alright. There's Valendor's house. All done. There we go. Alteration to 90. Love that too.
The fairest prices and the highest quality in Skyrim.
Next, we have Marie Saravel's house. Here, I think we don't need to sneak because we're actually friends with her, having done the Ice Wraith Teeth quest. Cold and the Dragon, we've read. Watcher of Stones, we've read. But this stuff isn't free to take. Interesting. Let's try telekinesis. Oh, I can't cast it yet. 105 per second. water breathing costs 138. Okay, I guess we have to stick with detect life. Never mind. All those bold declarations about how we could use all of those to raise it. Not so. Uh-oh. Better check back in Valandor's house, make sure I didn't miss anything like that food I just spotted up there. I don't think I did, but you can't be too careful. In my world, there's no such thing as too thorough. Alright, Mary Saravel's house is done. I'm gonna quick save here, and then check Valandor's. If there's nothing in there, I'll quick load.
Rare trinkets, the finest oddities from Morrowind.
Protect yourself right. Buy armor from Relka.
Ah, look, I did miss some. There we go. Now we're actually done with Valandor's house.
Gems, potions, exotic ingredients.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance? Looking to stay alive?
319.
Why take a chance?
Learn a library worth as knowledge as a winter's morning. Throw back that missing limb with my genuine Balmer blood elixir.
Rare trinkets and the finest oddities from Morrowind.
Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone.
Alright, I think our next stop is going to be Elgrim's Elixirs. The apothecary.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away.
Alright, Halfjorg. Let's pick her pocket. I got a little too greedy there. Come on. Alright. Now let's talk to her.
Dear, you really ought to be careful with fire. This place has seen better days, but it's not my fault. Where's my head? I never even greeted you properly.
You've got your hands full, eh?
I swear if I wasn't around, Elgrim would forget to eat his meals. How we make any coin at all is beyond me. In fact, I need to arrange for someone to pick up an ore sample for me in Shore Stone. Goodness knows Elgrim won't lift a finger to do it.
I could get it for you.
You would? Oh, that would be wonderful. Speak to Filnyar in Shore Stone. He's got some sort of ore sample he wants us to identify and was willing to pay us well for it.
Obtain ore sample from Filnyar. Does it bother
When
you living
Elgrim said he
underground?
was setting up shop down here, I told him he would catch his death. The dirt, the moisture, is disgusting. Who wants to spend their life living like a skeever? But that old bellyacre just fed me some nonsense about light ruining his mixtures and being close to the water. Ah,
Are you an alchemist as well?
I know how to mix a few basic potions, but I'm nowhere near as skilled as a master alchemist. I've picked up a few tricks by reading the tomes scattered all over the shop, but I don't have the knack to pull off half of the formulas. I wish Elgrim had spent more time tutoring me than that England girl.
Are you jealous of her?
Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. Elgrim can barely put on his own shoes, let alone have the energy to pursue a young girl. He's been gushing about how talented England is at alchemy. He'd never say it to her face. That's not his way. I just think Elgrim's taken it upon himself to mentor the young thing, so he focuses a lot of attention on her.
All right.
Be careful. The road to Shore's stones could be dangerous.
Sorry, just thinking about my experiments.
Well, I guess we'll talk to Ingen Blackbriar since she's right here. First, let's pick her pocket. Got a lot of potions on her.
Think you can steal
My
from
order
me?
of the yard. Stop right.
Alright, now let's talk to her.
My mind is on my experiments today. What did you need? What was it you wanted? Yes.
Are you an alchemist?
I'm aspiring to earn that title, yes. However, the road ahead is paved with loose cobbles and deadly pitfalls. Master Elgrim says I'm a natural, that I have a unique talent, but I fear his approval masks his intolerance for my mistakes. My errant formulas have cost Master Elgrim a fortune in ingredients, some of which are almost irreplaceable.
What sort of ingredients do you need?
To restore Master Elgrim's supply, I would need 20 Deathbell, 20 Nightshade, and 20 Nirnroot. Am I sensing that you may be interested in gathering these rare ingredients for me?
Sure, I'll get them for you.
That means more time for my experiments and less time in the field. Much appreciated.
Find 20 Nirnroot, 20 Nightshade, and 20 Deathbell for Ingen Blackbriar. And, as you may know, we have all these things. Why are you so fascinated by alchemy?
It's exhilarating to observe the effects of my potions on the body. Watching the heart stop, the eyes go blind. We're made up of thousands of parts with thousands of different functions, all working in tandem to keep us alive. Yet if only a single part of our imperfect machine fails, life fails. It makes one realize how fragile, how flawed we are. You ask why I'm so fascinated? The irony that the same world that gave us life provides us the means to die.
Any clues where I can find these ingredients?
Nirnroot is the easiest. It grows only by the water and makes a unique chiming noise. The only drawback is it won't regrow after harvesting. Nightshade is native to the pine forest and marshy tundra regions of Skyrim, and has a distinctive starburst-like violet flower. Last we have Deathbell, which only grows in marshy tundra terrain. Its inverted bluish-purple flower bunches are unmistakable.
Sorry about that coughing fit. I have Nirnroot for you.
Ah, yes, excellent samples. Thank you. This coin should compensate you for all the bother.
I have Nightshade for you.
Perfect. This is just what I needed. Here's some gold for your time.
And I have Deathbell for you.
Nirnroot, Nightshade. Last we have Deathbell. Good. My experiments are at a critical stage, and these are just what I need to finish. Here's some coin for all the trouble.
That was the last of the ingredients.
Yes. Master Elgrim will be pleased I've restored his stock of these rare ingredients. I feel I owe you a bit more than some meaningless coin for all your diligence. Here. This key unlocks my supply chest at Elgrim's Elixirs. Feel free to take what you need from time to time. I'll be refilling it once every few days or so.
Alright. Tell me about your family.
My family. All that wealth and they squander it on foolish ventures and political schemes. I was meant for so much more than all of this. I wish to pledge my life and ply my talents in darker circles. If only my mother would let me, I would make her proud.
Alright.
Don't forget to check your supply chest from time to time.
Here you really ought to be careful with fire.
So that completes the quest, in the creation kit. It's called Few and Far Between. Ingen's massive festival of ingredient gathering that we just finished. hear someone on the move. We've read Nord's Arise.
You here for lessons like Ingen?
Elgar,
Or did you wish to
honey,
buy something?
I'm concerned about your new pupil. She seems very odd.
Ingen? She's brilliant. A natural.
Oh dear, I didn't mean to say she isn't bright. It's the things she makes here, the things she says, and all those poor little animals she tests them on. It's just not right.
Damn it, woman. Ingen is the most promising alchemist I've ever seen, and I won't have you carrying her off.
Well, here's Elgrim.
Do you have any idea how busy I am? My mixture could be burning as we speak.
Let's talk to him. Oh, in a moment.
Take a look at my supplies if you must, but do hurry. I'm not getting any younger, you know.
No, come back. I want to talk to you.
Have you
Need
managed
something?
to make it out to shores?
Why is your shop down here in the canal?
Well, the moisture in the air is better for the ingredients. It isn't every day that you get your hands on fresh nernroot or painted troll fat. It also makes it easier to gather water when the canal is right out the front door. Besides, I also prefer the quiet. I didn't open this business for browsing. Come in, buy what you need, and get out.
Do you work alone?
Hardly. In fact, I don't know how I get anything done with all the distractions I have to put up with. My wife, Half-York, well, she's a necessary evil, I suppose. Not a lick of talent when it comes to alchemy, but she keeps me fed. Then there's Ingen Blackbriar, bright young thing and a worthy apprentice, when she isn't wasting my rare ingredients.
All right.
Yes, goodbye.
Notice the master-locked strongbox over here, which we will, of course, need to pick open. At least I have one extra pick. It makes it substantially easier. Boom. Lockpicking to 89. Perfect. Almost done in here. But we have a new book. Pala, Volume 2. These ones are long, if I remember right. Pala, Book 2, by Vonye Mirstid, I think. Pala, the name burned in my heart. I found myself whispering it in my studies even when I tried to concentrate on something the Magister was saying. My lips would silently purse to voice the pal, and tongue lightly flick to form the la, as if I were kissing her spirit before me. It was madness in every way, except that I knew that it was madness. I knew I was in love. I knew she was a noble Redguard woman, a fierce warrior more beautiful than the stars. I knew her young daughter Bettinici had taken possession of a manor house near the guild, and that she liked me, perhaps was even infatuated. I knew Pala had fought a terrible beast and killed it. I knew Pala was dead. As I say, I knew it was madness, and by that I knew I could not be mad. But I also knew that I must return to Bettinici's palace to see her statue of my beloved Pala engaged in that final, horrible, fatal battle with the monster. Return I did, over and over again. Had Bettinici been a different sort of noblewoman, more comfortable with her peers, I would not have had so many opportunities. In her innocence, unaware of my sick obsession, she welcomed my company. We would talk for hours, laughing, and every time we would take a walk to the reflecting pond, where I would always stop breathless before the sculpture of her mother. It's a marvelous tradition you have, preserving these figures of your ancestors at their finest moments, I said, feeling her curious eyes on me, and the craftsmanship is without parallel. You wouldn't believe me, laughed the girl, but it was a bit of a scandal when my great-grandfather began the custom. We Redguards hold a great reverence for our families, but we are warriors, not artists. He hired a traveling artist to create the first statues, and everyone admired them until it was revealed that the artist was an elf, an Altmer from the Somerset Isle. Scandal! It was, absolutely, Betanici nodded seriously. The idea that a pompous, wicked elf's hands had formed these figures of noble Redguard warriors was unthinkable, profane, irreverent, everything bad you can imagine. But my great-grandfather's heart was in the beauty of it, and his philosophy of using the best to honor the best passed down to us all. I would not have even considered having a lesser artist create the statues of my parents, even if it would have been more allegiant to my culture. They're all exquisite, I said, but you like the one of my mother most of all, she smiled. I see you look at it even when you seem to be looking at the others. It's my favorite also. Would you tell me more about her? I asked, trying to keep my voice light and conversational. Oh, she would have said she was nothing extraordinary, but she was, the girl said, picking a flower from the garden. My father died when I was quite young, and she had so many roles to fill, but she did them all effortlessly. We have a great many business interests, and she was brilliant at managing everything, certainly better than I am now. All it took was her smile, and everyone obeyed, and those that didn't paid dearly. She was very witty and charming, but a formidable force when the need arose for her to fight. Hundreds of battles, but I can never remember a moment of feeling neglected or unloved. I literally thought she was too strong for death. Stupid, I know, but when she went to battle that horrible creature, that freak from a mad wizard's laboratory, I never even thought she would not return. She was kind to her friends and ruthless to her enemies. What more can one say about a woman than that? Poor Betanici's eyes teared up with remembrance. What sort of villain was I to goad her so in order to satisfy my perverted longings? Sheogorath could never have conflicted a mortal man more than me. I found myself both weeping and filled with desire. Palla not only looked like a goddess, but from her daughter's stories she was one. That night, while undressing for bed, I rediscovered the black disc I had stolen from Magister Tendixus's office weeks before. I had half forgotten about its existence, that mysterious necromantic artifact which the mage believed could resurrect a dead love. Almost by pure instinct, I found myself placing the disc on my heart and whispering, Palla. A momentary chill filled my chamber. My breath hung in the air in a mist before dissipating. Frightened, I dropped the disc. It took a moment before my reason returned, and with it the inescapable conclusion. The artifact could fulfill my desire. Until the early morning hours, I tried to raise my mistress from the chains of oblivion, but it was no use. I was no necromancer. I entertained thoughts of how to ask one of the magisters to help me, but I remembered how Magister Ilther had bid me to destroy it. They would expel me from the guild if I went to them and destroy the disc themselves, and with it my only key to bringing my love to me. I was in my usual semi-torpid condition the next day in classes. Magister Ilther himself was lecturing on his specialty, the School of Enchantment. He was a dull speaker with a monotone voice, but suddenly I felt as if every shadow had left the room and I was in a palace of light. When most persons think of my particular science, they think of the process of invention, the infusing of charms and spells into objects, the creation of a magical blade, perhaps, or a ring. But the skilled enchanter is also a catalyst. The same mind that can create something new can also provoke greater power from something old. A ring that can generate warmth for a novice, on the hand of such a talent, can bake a forest black. The fat man chuckled. Not that I'm advocating that. Leave that for the School of Destruction. That week, all the initiates were asked to choose a field of specialization. All were surprised when I turned my back on my old darling, the School of Illusion. It seemed ridiculous to me that I had ever entertained an affection for such superficial charms. All my intellect was now focused on the School of Enchantment, the means by which I could free the power of the disc. For months thereafter, I barely slept. A few hours a week I'd spend with Betanici and my statue to give myself strength and inspiration. All the rest of my time was spent with Magister Ilther or his assistants, learning everything I could about enchantment. They taught me how to taste the deepest levels of magicus within a stored object. A simple spell cast once, no matter how skillfully and no matter how spectacularly, is ephemeral, of the present, what it is, and no more, sighed Magister Ilther. But placed in a home, it develops into an almost living energy, maturing and ripening so only its surface is touched when an unskilled hand wields it. You must consider yourself a miner, digging deeper to pull forth the very heart of gold. Every night when the laboratory closed, I practiced what I had learned. I could feel my power grow, and with it the power of the disc. Whispering Palla, I delved into the artifact, feeling every slight nick that marked the runes and every facet of the gemstones. At times I was so close to her I felt hands touching mine. But something dark and bestial, the reality of death, I suppose, would always break across the dawning of my dream. With it came an overwhelming, rotting odor, which the initiates in the chambers next to mine began to complain about. Something must have crawled into the floorboards and died, I offered lamely. Magister Ilther praised my scholarship, and allowed me the use of his laboratory after hours to further my studies. Yet no matter what I learned, Palla seemed scarcely closer. One night it all ended. I was swaying in a deep ecstasy, moaning her name, the disc bruising my chest, when a sudden lightning flash through the window broke my concentration. A tempest of furious rain roared over Mir Korup. I went to close the shutters, and when I returned to my table, I found that the disc had shattered. I broke into hysterical sobs, and then laughter. It was too much for my fragile mind to bear such a loss after so much time and study. The next day and the day after I spent in my bed, burning with a fever. Had I not been at a mage's guild with so many healers, I likely would have died. As it was, I provided an excellent study for the budding young scholars. When at last I was well enough to walk, I went to visit Bettinici. She was charming as always, never once commenting on my appearance, which must have been ghastly. Finally, I gave her reason to worry when I politely but firmly declined to walk with her along the reflecting pool. "But you love looking at the statuary," she exclaimed. I felt that I owed her the truth and much more. "Dear lady, I love more than the statuary. I love your mother. She is all I've been able to think about for months now, ever since you and I first removed the tarp from that blessed sculpture. I don't know what you think of me now, but I have been obsessed with learning how to bring her back from the dead." Bettinici stared at me, eyes wide. Finally she spoke. "I think you need to leave now. I don't know if this is a terrible jest. Believe me, I wish it were. You see, I failed. I don't know why. It could not have been that my love wasn't strong enough, because no man had a stronger love. Perhaps my skills as an enchanter are not masterful, but it wasn't from lack of study." I could feel my voice rise and knew I was beginning to rant, but I could not hold back. "Perhaps the fault lay in that your mother never met me, but I think that only the caster's love is taken into account in the necromantic spell. I don't know what it was. Maybe that horrible creature, the monster that killed her, cast some sort of curse on her with its dying breath. I failed, and I don't know why." With a surprising burst of speed and strength for so small a lady, Bettinici shoved herself against me. She screamed, "Get out!" and I fled out the door. Before she slammed the door shut, I offered my pathetic apologies. "I'm so sorry, Bettinici, but consider that I wanted to bring your mother back to you. It's madness, I know, but there is only one thing that's certain in my life, and that's that I love Palla." The door was nearly shut, but the girl opened it a crack to ask tremulously, "You love whom?" "Palla!" I cried to the gods. "My mother," she whispered angrily, "was named Zarlis. Palla was the monster." I stared at the closed door for Mara knows how much time, and then began the long walk back to the Mages' Guild. My memory searched through the minutiae to the Tales and Talos night so long ago when I first beheld the statue, and first heard the name of my love. That Breton initiate, Gellin, had spoken. He was behind me. Was he recognizing the beast and not the lady? I turned the lonely bend that intersected with the outskirts of Mir Korup, and a large shadow rose from the ground where it had been sitting, waiting for me. "Palla," I groaned. "Palla." "Kiss me," it howled. And that brings my story up to the present moment. Love is red, like blood.
Here you really ought to be careful with fire.
6:51 p.m. We've been going about 30 minutes, which isn't too bad. Let's finish off the canals by crossing over to Beggar's Row next. Should be empty right now. I'm gonna go counterclockwise. A Dance in Fire V7 we've already read. I think that's about it for good stuff down in here. This is where Edda, Snilf, and oddly enough, Medici the Jewelsmith sleep. Yep, that's it. We're done with Beggar's Row. Let's head up the stairs. Here's someone we haven't talked to yet. Ujita. And we need to talk to her, so I'm glad she's here. First, let's pick her pocket. We always do that first. Then we can talk to her.
Get away from me. Please help me. I'm going to lose my job at the Riften fishery. I really need your help. I don't want to lose my job at the fishery. What am I going to do? Oh, my aching head. Why do I do this to myself? What am I going... You have no idea what it's like to have everything, then watch it all disappear. Tidings.
Do you like working at the Riften fishery?
Bolly is a good man. He pays us well and watches out for us. I used to work at the Blackbriar meadery, but Darren and I never saw eye to eye. That elf has no patience at all. It's probably for the best anyway. I'm far better at fishing than working in a meadery.
You might lose your job?
My job at the Riften fishery is in danger. The owner, Bolly, said that if I show up for work in this condition one more time, then I'm out. I don't mean to do this to myself, but I can't help it. I tried some skooma a year ago, and ever since then, I can't stop. If you could give me a healing potion, I could cleanse this poison from my body and get back to my life.
Sure, here you are.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Here, take this. It's all I can offer you for what you've given me.
Identify Riften's skooma dealer. So what that has done is given us we completed a hidden quest called Helping Hand to give her a potion of healing. Now we need to talk to her again.
It is our most favorite company. It should be careful with those flames. I'm feeling much better now, thanks to you. Tidings. Need something?
What is skooma?
I'm not sure what it's made from, but I can tell you that once you've had a taste, you'll never crave anything else. The Dunmer came up with the stuff a long time ago. Very illegal and very hard to come by. I got mine off a merchant ship in Solitude. Worst mistake I ever made.
Where do you get your skooma?
Look, I don't think I should say. I mean, they could kill me.
I think you owe me one.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Speech to 99.
I get my skooma from Sarthas Idrin. He has some sort of a setup over the Riften warehouse. You can't get inside, though. They've kept that place locked up tight since the war began.
Oops. Who has a key to the warehouse?
I overheard Bolly say that only the Jarl carries the key to the warehouse. When I meet Sarthas there, he's usually waiting for me outside with his bodyguard.
Report Sarthas Idrin to the Jarl of Riften. What will you do now?
If it wasn't for skooma, I'd already be on my way out of this horrible city. All my gold. Completely gone. Now I have to start over. I'll never use skooma again. Although I suppose a little mead now and then would be harmless.
Alright.
You've been kind. I thank you.
So we can go ahead and go do
feeling
that.
much better now, thanks to you.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's do that before we head to Helga's bunkhouse, which is the next spot I want to clear out. Oh, but another thing, while we're on our way over, we can visit Edda, the second beggar, and we can give her a coin to eliminate her quest all beggars have. It's definitely been 8 hours by now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's the magic?
She's over here in the market all alone, so let's go talk to her. Well, not all alone. Snilth is here too, but... Edda.
Please.
Here, have a
Please,
gold
I need
piece.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. All right, then.
There we go. Those storm cloaks have disappeared, I noticed. I knew they weren't supposed to be there to start with. I'm doing 36 minutes. We'll do Helga's bunkhouse next. A lot of people in there.
Go cast your fancy magic someplace else.
Well, we can speak to Layla now. Put that on there? Yes.
My lady, Maven Blackbriar.
Take care not to set anything on fire.
I've discovered a skooma dealer in Riften.
Yes, I'm afraid we're aware of Sarthis' presence in the warehouse. Unfortunately, we're certain he has informants within the city guard. Every time we've made a move to arrest him, he's escaped. However, if you take care of this discreetly, you might be able to surprise him without warning.
Sure, I'll do it.
Excellent. Here, this is the key to the warehouse. See if you can drop in on this dealer of poison and convince him to close down his operation permanently.
Enter Riften Warehouse.
Good journey to you.
Welcome to Mistvale Keep. I'm Jarl Layla's steward, Anuriel.
Oh, come to gloat, have we? To poke fun at the Jarl's youngest son?
And now, I think we'll go handle Riften Warehouse. Because I don't think we should have too much trouble, even if we are over-encumbered. It's just 2 guys. Yeah, I'm gonna do that first. Alright. Let's head out this door to the docks. Just hope I don't trigger a dragon attack. Let's quick save on this side, just in case. We've been going close to 40 minutes. I should be able to do this with no problem.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's the magic?
Stop. I won't go back to the Martians.
I won't.
Alright, let's get flames on in our other hand. Haven't had to fight anything in a long time, but Sarthis and his bodyguard not gonna take kindly to us showing up. Into the Riften warehouse. There's a Rini draw. Load the autosave. Let's sword and board them.
Huh?
That'll go just fine. Shield, sword, and elemental fury.
Ha! Here we
Good night, douchebags. Recover source information. That's all well and good, but before we do that, let's loot the bodies. Sarthis' key. Alright. Now that we can move freely, let's just go counterclockwise. I did not want to sit in the chair. I wanted to pick up the bucket. There you go. Wujita is one of the people I was really worried might die, because she works out on the fishery, so she's outside. She's very weak. She can get killed in a heartbeat if a dragon attacks out there. And if she does get killed, you cannot you cannot do these quests, which means you can never buy a house in Riften or become the Thane of Riften. At least, unless you install the Imperial Jarl, which we will eventually do, but, you know, I like to do all the quests. That's how I roll. Alright, let's keep going counterclockwise through this room. Then we'll end on that door, which requires a key. If you guessed it, requires Sarthis' key. Well, you're not that smart, because it's pretty obvious, but you are at least right about the obvious thing. Alright, nothing left but the office. So let's head in here. As you expect, loads of moon sugar and skooma. Here's Sarthis' satchel. With one note, shipments ready. Well, let me go pull that note off the book list and then we'll read it. Well, let's read it. Shipment's ready. It's gonna be way down here. Sarthis. Just got in a shipment of moon sugar from Morrowind. We're refining it now, and the skooma should be ready by the time you get to Crag's Lane Cavern. Bring the gold or don't show up at all. Kilnir. Report skooma source to Jarl of Riften. Okay, let's go do that. Of course, now I'm worried that re-entering the city might trigger a vampire attack.
Careful with that fire.
Enough guards are left alive that that wouldn't be the end of the world. As long as nobody important died. Just keep an eye on everybody just the same.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
We've been going 45 minutes. It's not too bad. Let's go do this. And this will resolve the quest, which is called the Raid. In the creation kit.
Take my advice. Don't listen to that talk of the face sculptor down in the Ragged Flag.
Muriel or
Face butcher is more like it from
Yes,
what I've
my
heard.
lady? It's been brought to my attention that the... Welcome to Riften, traveler. I hope the road fared well for you.
Sarthis Idrin has been taken care of.
It's nice to receive good news for a change. Did you recover anything else from the warehouse worth mentioning?
I've discovered the source of the scuba.
Then there's no time to lose. It won't take long for Sarthis' associates to learn of his death. The source of the poison must be destroyed once and for all. Otherwise, another dealer will simply take his place. Do this task for me, and you'll be well on your way to a title in Riften.
I'll make sure it's done.
Good. Report back to me when your task is complete.
And Uriel, would you please stop declaring that the city is safe for the Jarl to roam?
Good journey to you.
That isn't true.
Welcome to Mistvale Keep.
Alright.
I'm Jarl
Just
Layla's
stop
steward.
being safe. That's all.
Next is find the skooma dealers
You're
in
welcome.
Crag's Lane Cavern,
I'm
but
not
that's a
angry
different
with you.
quest. The raid is finished. This quest is called Supply and Demand.
We can discuss the situation in private.
And we need to complete that quest before we can buy the Riften house. So now, I still have some time, so I'll go to Helga's bunkhouse like I was gonna do when I fortuitously ran into Wujita.
He wasn't protesting. Of course he wasn't, you stupid whore. He's a man. Now I'm not going to warn you again. Is that clear? Very well.
Here's a new person I'd like to talk to. Maven Blackbriar herself. Let's pick her pocket first, like we usually do.
I presume you're bothering me for a good...
Hey!
What in the name of oblivion do you want?
Hey! Where'd you come from?
Oh goodness. That's good, that's good.
Where'd you come?
Fewer and fewer people to talk to.
Hey!
I can just get that necklace.
Hey! Hey!
Oh really? Good business.
Hey!
26% is pretty bad, but it shouldn't be taking this long. It's better than 1 in 4 odds, but that was my 12th try.
Where'd you...
Come on now.
Where'd you...
Come on.
Hey!
Come on.
Hey!
This is absurd.
Hey!
Come on. Really, come on.
Hey! Hey!
There we go. Good. Alright, now let's talk to her.
Out of my way. I don't have time for idle chit-chat. What is it?
Your name carries weight in Riften.
Of course. Nothing gets done without my approval in this city. I have the Jarl's ear, and the guards in my pocket. Anyone makes trouble for me, and I pay a visit to the Thieves' Guild. Make me angry, and I contact the Dark Brotherhood. You do well to remember that the next time you make such a stupid observation.
Alright.
Out of my way.
Little rage? Oh well. Still got about 10 minutes, so we will go ahead and do Helga's bunkhouse. See, that's Honeyside, so then we'll just have Bee and Barb, the Blackbriar Meadery, Scorched Hammer, and the Pond Prawn. Not that many people left to talk to either. Yeah, we're moving right along. It's good, it's good.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend?
Well, I'd like to talk to you, Typhus Ulin. Is that
Don't
an
set
option?
anything on fire, all right?
Alright, good. Yes, Typhus Ulin. Let's talk to him.
Don't even think about it. Working at the Riften fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket. I'm beginning to think leaving Mournhold was a mistake. If Riften is the best Skyrim has to offer, I may as well turn back right now and just head for home.
Alright, well that's it for Typhus Ulin. Let's go clockwise in here. Here's another new person, Svana Farshield. Let's pick her pocket and then talk to her.
Sorry about the mess. Keeping this place clean is quite a chore. I'd appreciate it if you'd keep your hands to yourself. The bunkhouse isn't an inn. I'd recommend the Bee and Barb.
I'm off work
Sure.
at the Blackbriar
What can I
Meadery.
do for you?
I'll be back
Do
there in
you
a moment.
work here?
Work? I suppose you can call it that. I call it slavery. I work my fingers to the bone keeping this disgusting place clean. Ever since my parents died and Helga took me in, it's been a nightmare. How was I to know she was such a wretched woman? So now I'm stuck living here, while those pigs she calls customers grope me and say the most awful things.
Why do you hate Helga so much?
It's not just the work, it's everything about her. She's disgusting. I think she takes her worship of Dibella a bit too seriously. Do you know she slept with 3 different men in the last month alone? What kind of woman would do such a thing? Just for once, I'd like to see her squirm, to rub her nose in it.
There must be a way.
Actually, there is. But I don't think I could get away with doing it. She'd kill me if she found out. You see, I happen to know, after she makes love, she gives her partner a token of her affection, called a Mark of Dibella. If you confront her with 3 of the marks, she'd be so embarrassed. Well, I don't know what she'd do.
Sure, I'll help you.
Oh, this is going to be great! You need to get the marks of Dibella from Bolli, Hofgrir, and Indaren. Not sure how you're going to do that, but try your best. Then just confront Helga with them, and the rest works itself out.
Obtain a mark of Dibella from Bolli, from Hofgrir, and from Indaren.
Try and get those marks without violence, please. I don't want to be responsible for their deaths. Or yours.
Oh look, all this stuff is free to take. Maybe because we helped Fujita, and she lives here. Regardless. Let's get that active. We haven't met Indaren yet, but we've already met Hofgrir and Bolli. We could go out to the stables right now to get Hofgrir's. I might try to pack that into this video after I clear the bunkhouse. It'll mainly depend if I have time or not, and I am kind of doubting that I'll have time, considering it's already been 55 minutes. But I will try. Porker attacks. Here's a note. Until next time. Let me pull that off the book list. Alright. Sweet Helga, last night was the most wonderful night of my life. The things you showed me, the things we did, I could never have dreamt that it was possible. Who even knew that someone could manipulate their body in that manner while wearing Daedric armor boots? You are a true master of the Dibellan arts, my love, a credit to your religion. Perhaps we'll meet again soon, but next time allow me to bring the trout, your secret lover. Let's go back here. This is Helga's room. Shrine of Dibella, honey, leather strips. Catching on to what all that's about. Falmer blood elixir. The Lusty Argonian Maid, Volume 2. Is that the one we've already read? I think it is. Yes. Oh, and here's the Lusty Argonian Maid, V1. That's a new book for us. The Lusty Argonian Maid, Volume 1, by Crassius Curio. Act 4, Scene 3 continued. Lifts her tail. Certainly not, kind sir. I am here but to clean your chambers. Crantius Colto. Is that all you have come here for, little one? My chambers? Lifts her tail. I have no idea what it is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid. Crantius Colto. So you are, my dumpling, and a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail. Lifts her tail. You embarrass me, sir. Crantius Colto. Fear not, you are safe here with me. Lifts her tail. I must finish my cleaning, sir. The mistress will have my head if I do not. Crantius Colto. Cleaning, eh? I have something for you. Here, polish my spear. Lifts her tail. But it is huge. It could take me all night. Crantius Colto. Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. End of Act 4, Scene 3. Alright, let's search the end table. Let's pick Helga's pocket, and then we can speak to her. Good. That was surprisingly easy.
Is it getting hot? Or is it just me? I don't know why I bothered.
I wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything under the bed.
If you're looking for a bed, this is the wrong place.
Oh, I'll let her go back to sleep. Oh well. potions of stamina on the shelf. This whole place is very cleverly
You
built.
looking for something or what? Need something?
What is this place?
This heap of matchsticks is what everyone calls Helga's bunkhouse. Can you stay here? No. The bunkhouse is for the working man, not some sort of luxury inn for tourists.
Are you the only one that works at the bunkhouse?
Of course not. You expect me to take care of it by myself? My niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out of the clouds. She's been with me ever since her parents were killed by bandits and she was dropped in my lap.
Where can I learn more about magic?
There's a college in Winterhold that teaches magic. It's very secretive, though, and you know how people hate secrets. The Jarl's Court wizard was taught there. That one's full of secrets. I don't know why I bothered. What do you need, handsome?
Porker tusk. And more leather strips under the bed. Oh, and here is the apprentice locked strongbox. Let's break these 4 spare lockpicks and then get that open. And we're at the 1 hour mark, so I do really want to finish the bunkhouse, and I would actually like to track down Boley and Hofgrir and talk to them, so I will try to get that done. Upstairs we go. This place is arranged in 2 wings. Well, I'm just going to go right first. Alteration to 91. That gains us a level, so now I also need to talk to Mule to get her quest, Grimsever's Return. But for now, let's just put the point into health. And let's take the perk Ranger. Now this is going to do something really cool for us. It's going to ameliorate being over encumbered anytime it happens. Able to move faster with a draw the bow. Well, I need to go ahead and pick Grelka's pocket and speak to her. I'll do that right quick, but what this means, I'll show you in a minute.
Can't you bother me at my armor stand in the market? Or are you that desperate for training?
Grelka is the expert trainer for light armor. She can take it to 75.
What kind of fool plays with fire like that? Come back when you're ready to spend... Make it quick. Yes?
I need training in light armor.
I'll teach you how to use it effectively, and keep you quick on your feet.
You treat all your customers like this?
Look, I've moved all over Skyrim selling these bits of junk, and I'm barely scraping by. I'm not out to win friends, and I could care less if you're happy about your purchase or not. I just need the coin. The sooner I get out of Skyrim, the better.
Why would you want to leave Skyrim?
Are you serious? The war is tearing the land apart. The dragons have returned seeking who knows what. Skyrim is going nowhere, fast. If I were you, I'd pack up and get out of here before you end up in one of those burial cairns.
Tell me about the Thieves Guild.
They'd stop at nothing to take your last bit of food if that's all you had. The Ratway's too good a place for that scum.
What's the rat way?
There are ruined sewer tunnels beneath the city. The only way I know how to get in there is through a door off of the canal. If I were you, I'd keep my feet dry and stay up here. Come back when you're ready to spend more gold. Goodness knows I could use it.
That's Grelka. Here's another guy named Ungrian. Let's pick his pocket and talk to him.
Pickpocket! You little...
He's guarding his mead jealously.
Get away from
me!
me!
There we go. Well, let's talk to him.
I'm off work at the Blackbriar Meadery. I'll be back there in the morning. Nord. Travels. What do you need?
Tell me about Maven Blackbriar.
She's an absolute pleasure to work for. In fact, I almost feel guilty accepting pay from her. Why, just this last week, I was commenting to my fellow meadery workers just how lucky we are to be working for such a charitable family.
Come on, get the truth off your chest.
Okay, look. If I'm caught saying anything bad about the meadery or the family, I'm a dead man. I'm the 4th person to work the tasting counter in the last year. The last 3 are at the bottom of Lake Honrik. Just take my advice, and just get out of Riften as soon as you can.
What makes Blackbriar mead so special?
Lady Maven's been developing the secret recipe for Blackbriar mead over the last several decades. She uses a very secret blend of spices, fresh honey from Golden Glow Estate, and specially constructed aging casks to ensure the best flavor. Even when you get to the last sip in your flagon, it'll taste just as good as the first.
That sounded rehearsed.
Damn it. Sorry. I'm not very good at this. Look, just don't say anything to Maven, will you? I've spent weeks trying to get that right, and if she sees how stupid I am, she'll get rid of me.
There are worse things than being fired.
Yeah. Fired. Sure. That's what I meant.
Alright.
Travel safe.
Another little window into how Maven is and how things run here in Riften. Let's go into this door. It's a storage closet of sorts with absolutely nothing inside. Okay. Let's go check out the other wing then. We've already talked to Typhus Ulan. We've already talked to Vujita. Let's go to the other side. There's only one person left in the bunkhouse we haven't spoken to. There she is. Oh, no, she doesn't appear to be here. Well, that's odd. She ought to be in here. Oh well. I'm sure we'll run into her eventually. At Blackbriar Meadery, she's not where she's supposed to be. Here's a somewhat fancier bedroom. There's Svana, who we've already spoken to. We're just about done here. Beggar, I think we've already read. Or maybe we haven't. This may be a new book. Yes, it is. Beggar by Revin. It is... Oh, Revin backwards is never. I just realized that. It's the final pickpocket skill book. Not that we'd notice, because pickpocket's already at 100. But if I jump over to free skill boosts, pickpocket now only has 1 free boost left. 1 quest, that's all. Beggar by Revin. Aslaf Errol was the last of the litter of 5 born to the queen of the prosperous Nordic kingdom of Errolgard. Lapirkopa, apocryphal, and her husband, the king of Errolgard, Itluaf. During pregnancy, the queen had been more than twice as wide as she was tall, and the act of delivery took 3 months and 6 days after it had begun. It is perhaps understandable that Lapirkopa elected, upon expelling Aslaf, to frown, say good riddance, and die. Like many Nords, Itluaf did not care very much for his wife, and less for his children. His subjects were puzzled, therefore, when he announced that he would follow the ancient tradition of his people of Atmora, of following his beloved spouse to the grave. They had not thought they were particularly in love, nor were they aware that such a tradition existed. Still, the simple people were grateful, for the little royal drama alleviated their boredom, which was and is a common problem in the more obscure parts of northern Skyrim, particularly in wintertide. He gathered his household staff and his 5 fat, bawling little heirs in front of him, and divided his estate. To his son Enop he gave his title, to his son Laernu he gave his land, to his son Swoibud he gave his fortune, to his daughter Lacifitra he gave his army. Itlaw's advisors had suggested he keep the inheritance together for the good of the kingdom, but Itlaw did not particularly care for his advisors, or the kingdom for that matter. Upon making his announcement, he drew his dagger across his throat. One of the nurses, who was rather shy, finally decided to speak as the king's life ebbed away. "Your Highness, you forgot your 5th child, little Eslaf." Good Itlawaf groaned. It is somewhat hard to concentrate with blood gushing from one's throat, after all. The king tried in vain to think of something to bequeath, but there was nothing left. Finally, he sputtered irritably. Eslaf should have taken something then, and died. That a babe but a few days old was expected to demand his rightful inheritance was arguably unfair, but so Eslaf Errol was given his birthright with his father's dying breath. He would have nothing but what he had taken. Since no one else would have him, the shy nurse, whose name was Druzba, took the baby home. It was a decrepit little shack, and over the years that followed, it became more and more decrepit. Unable to find work, Druzba sold all of her furnishings to buy food for little Eslaf. By the time he was old enough to walk and talk, she had sold the walls and the roof as well, so they had nothing but a floor to call home. And if you've ever been to Skyrim, you can appreciate that that is scarcely sufficient. Druzba did not tell Eslaf the story of his birth, or that his brothers and sister were leading quite nice lives with their inheritances, for, as we have said, she was rather shy and found it difficult to broach the subject. She was so painfully shy, in fact, that whenever he asked any questions about where he came from, Druzba would run away. That was more or less her answer to everything, to flee. In order to communicate with her at all, Eslaf learned how to run almost as soon as he could walk. He couldn't keep up with his adopted mother at first, but in time he learned to go toe heel if he anticipated a short but fast sprint, and heel toe if it seemed Druzba was headed for a long-distance marathon flight. He never did get all the answers he needed from her, but Eslaf did learn how to run. The kingdom of Erelgard had, in the years that Eslaf was growing, become quite a grim place. King Enop did not have a treasury, for Swoibud had been given that. He did not have any property for income, for Laernu had been given that. He did not have an army to protect the people, for Lacifitra had been given that. Furthermore, as he was but a child, all decisions in the kingdom went through Enop's rather corrupt council. It had become a bureaucratic, exploitative land of high taxes, rampant crime, and regular incursions from neighboring kingdoms. Not a particularly unusual situation for a kingdom of Tamriel, but an unpleasant one nonetheless. The time finally came when the tax collector arrived to Druzba's hovel, such as it was, to collect the only thing he could, the floor. Rather than protest, the poor shy maid ran away, and Eslaf never saw her again. Without a home or a mother, Eslaf did not know what to do. He had grown accustomed to the cold open air in Druzba's shack, but he was hungry. "May I have a piece of meat?" he asked the butcher down the street. "I'm very hungry." The man had known the boy for years, often spoke to his wife about how sorry he felt for him, growing up in a home with no ceilings or walls. He smiled at Eslaf and said, "Go away or I'll hit you." Eslaf hurriedly left the butcher and went to a nearby tavern. The tavern keeper had been a former valet in the king's court and knew that the boy was by right a prince. Many times he had seen the poor ragged lad in the streets and sighed at the way fate had treated him. "May I have something to eat?" Eslaf asked this tavern keeper. "I'm very hungry." "You're lucky I don't cook you up and eat you," replied the tavern keeper. Eslaf hurriedly left the tavern. For the rest of the day the boy approached the good citizens of Erelgard, begging for food. One person had thrown something at him, but it turned out to be an inedible rock. As night fell, a raggedy man came up to Eslaf and, without saying a word, handed him a piece of fruit and a piece of dried meat. The lad took it, wide-eyed, and as he devoured it, he thanked the man very sweetly. "If I see you begging on the streets tomorrow," the man growled, "I'll kill you myself. There are only so many beggars we of the guild allow in any one town, and you make it one too many. You're ruining business." It was a good thing Eslaf Errol knew how to run. He ran all night. Eslaf Errol's story is continued in the book Thief. Okay, good. Yeah, let's take Beggar with us. And that's it for Helga's bunkhouse. Don't know where Nilubaflalu is, but... I guess she came in and she's sitting over here at the table. Who else would this be? Yes, it is her. Good. Alright, let's pick her pockets, and then let's talk to her.
You looking for something? You looking for something?
That's it. Okay.
You looking for something?
Alright, we're done with Helga's bunkhouse. We only have 4 buildings left to explore. And let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people we still need to track down and speak to. New people. 11 new people and 4 new buildings. But before I end here, I know I'm already 15 minutes over, but I want to quickly get the marks of Dibella from Hofgrir and Bolli. And I want to, since I gained a level, I want to talk to Mule again, and hopefully get her quest going the way we're supposed to. I at least want to do Hofgrir, because I have to go outside for him. And that always feels risky to me. Oh yeah, and here's what I promised you. When you're over encumbered, if you have Ranger, you can speed up by getting your bow out and moving along. Block Runner with a shield, which we will eventually have, works even better. And I just thought I'd show you that.
You've been a good friend to me. That means something.
Helga gave you a mark of Dibella. I want it.
Huh? What are you talking about? I don't even know what that is.
Hand it over and no one has to know.
Look, you must have me confused with someone else.
Give it to me or else.
I don't want a bad reputation in Riften, but Helga's out of control. She wanted to try it in the stable, so I said yes. If you want the mark that badly, then go ahead and take it.
Mark of Dibella added. Good.
Until next time.
Whoa, frame rate. What is the problem? Like I said, we haven't met Indarin yet. So all I still want to do is get Bolli's mark and get the quest from Mule. I think the next place I'm gonna go is the Bee and Barb. Do the inn next. If I want to visit those guys, I'm not friends with anyone, so I can't just bust into their houses. I just have to wait until people emerge to start their days. Pretty sure they'll all come out at 8 a.m. Jesus Christ.
All meat guaranteed clean and free from Riften. Don't miss out. Purchase a bottle of my genuine farmer blood elixir. Only 20 septims each.
See, no
Fresh
sign of
meats
Bully
and
or
produce.
Mule yet.
Get them before they're gone.
Maybe they don't come out until 9.
Gems, potions, exotic ingredients, I'll have them all.
Vegetables as crisp.
You've got that fire under control, right?
Like a giant. Only a mere 20 gold coins, and all this could be yours.
Here's Mule. Let's speak
I'll
to her.
interest you in some fine goods.
Ah,
from
you're back.
Morrowind.
What have you discovered?
Oh good, it worked. What happened to your blade, Grimsever?
It was lost years ago in a Dwemer ruin. Without it, I feel almost as defenseless as a newborn. I don't think I'll ever be able to find a replacement.
I could find it for you.
I couldn't ask you to undertake such a treacherous journey. It would be a fool's errand. But I see that spark in your eye, and I know better than to warn you away. Grimsever rests within the Dwemer ruin of Mesincheleft. Tread carefully, friend. Those same ruins almost took my life.
What happened to you in Mesincheleft?
I was adventuring in the depths of the ruins when I was attacked by a massive construct, like nothing I had ever seen. When the Colossus struck, Grimsever was knocked from my grasp, and I was wounded badly. It was only through blind luck that I was able to crawl away from the Dwemer abomination and make my way to the surface. I must have collapsed, because the next thing I remember is Erin standing over me, tending to my wounds.
Alright.
Please be careful. I don't wish to be the reason for your death.
As soon as I do,
Well, my friend,
That's
how
fine.
can I help you?
And there's Bully. Good. Last guy I was looking for.
Did you get that purchase agreement to Markarth yet?
Helga gave you a mark of Dibella. I want it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'd never sleep with anyone besides my good wife, Drifa.
Hand it over and no one has to know.
Look, it was one night, okay? I think she slipped something in my drink. I haven't even been back to the bunkhouse since. Just take this damn thing. I never want to see it again.
Good.
Remember to give at the temple.
Rare trinkets and the finest oddities from Morrowind.
Divines bless you. May the ground you walk quake as you pass.
I couldn't help but spot another new person. I'd like to pick her pockets and talk to
Genuine
her.
Valmer blood elixir for sale. Lived for thousands of years. Seen
This
to other
is
people's thoughts.
Drifa, the wife of Bercy Honeyhand. Lives in the Pond Prawn. Let's pick her pockets and talk to her.
My husband Bercy will be the death of me. He spends too much time worrying about Riften and not enough about himself. All the crime and corruption in Riften is really getting to him. And now that we hear rumors about the dragons, he's been very depressed. Bercy's afraid that someone's making a move to take the Pawn Prawn from us. I think he's being paranoid. We both own the Pawn Prawn together, but he single-handedly kept the place running despite all our problems. I just care about my husband so much, and I hate to see him in this state. Yes?
Alright. There are 4 people who live in the Bee and Barb. I'm trying to think of who I still need to speak to. Indarin never leaves the Blackbriar Meadery, so we'll see him when we go in there. That's one. Asbjorn Firetamer
Working at the Riften fishery is tough.
lives
I
in
put some coin in my pocket.
the
Bolcast
Scorched Hammer
fancy
never
magic
leaves.
someplace
That's
else.
2.
Leaving Mournhold was a mistake.
Kiravo, Louis Latrush, Mercurio, and Talonjay all live in the Bee and Barb and never leave. That's 6. Nivenor. She's one I wanted to talk to. I've already picked her pocket because I found her sleeping.
If you're looking for a handout, you'll want to speak with my husband. If you're looking for company, I suppose I could do worse. Boley's around somewhere, planning to feed the poor with his nonsense about Mara. With my husband's newfound religion, what I do with our coin and what I do all day seems less important to him. Suits me. Such a waste of time preaching to the poor. If they're that hungry, they should just grow some food or something. I spend every Friday at the fishery, so I know the meaning of hard work. All those forms to fill out and file, it's exhausting. Mark my words, if Boley thinks he's giving all our wealth away to some poor slob, I'll leave him high and dry. Need something?
Okay, good. So, Kirava, Louis Latruche, Mercurio, and Talonjay, all in the Bee and Barb. Volwolf Snowshod is in the Bee and Barb all day. He just sleeps in Snowshod Manor. Asbjorn, Fire Tamer, and Indaren I've got covered. Just talked to Nibenor, so
What is it?
I don't
Dragons?
have to worry about her. Marimal starts in the Bee and Barb as well.
What's the magic?
I think the only other thing is Valandor, who works out on the docks. So, let's see if we can go talk to him, and then I'll move over to the Bee and Barb and into the video inside, ready to...
Working at the Riften fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket.
Staying out of trouble, kinsman?
Good. I'm glad Mule's quest is gonna work correctly. Yeah, Valandor's out on the docks. I think Wujita is too. Well, we could go into the Blackbriar Meadery this way, but I don't particularly want to. Let's just go pick Valandor's pocket and have a chat with him.
I could have put it
Then we'll go head to the Bee. Then we'll head to the Bee and Barb, and we'll end the video. Ready to clear that place out and talk to some more new people.
You've got that fire under control, right?
Trees. They're beautiful here. Reminds me of autumn at home. The fall forest makes me miss my childhood. Playing among the towering trees in Valenwood, living with my brethren. Seeing the sorry state of this city almost makes me regret my decision to leave my home when my apprenticeship completed. I was fortunate enough to be guided by one of Sylvanar's master armorers until he passed. On his deathbed, my master urged me to take over his business, but I decided against it. I chose to wander Tamriel instead. Now, here I am, working for this dreary city's fishery. I sometimes wonder why I don't just move on.
What can I do for you?
Alright, that's it for
Cast
him.
your fancy magic someplace else.
Let's get back to the city, head to the Bee and Barb, and end the video there. So, kind of ranting to myself, and I'm sorry about that, but I have 4 buildings left. The Scorched Hammer, the Pond Prawn, the Blackbriar Meadery, and the Bee and Barb. People I have left to find are Marimal, currently in the Bee and Barb, and he won't leave until I go in there. Volwolf Snowshod, in the Bee and Barb during the day, so I'll find him when I go in there, since it's the day. Asbjorn Fire Tamer, never leaves the Scorched Hammer, so I'll see him when I go there. Indaren, never leaves the Blackbriar Meadery, so I'll see him when I go in there. Then we have Kirava, Louis Latruche, Mercurio, and Talonjay, who all live inside the Bee and Barb and never leave. Good. We are getting close to the finish line. Down to 8 people and 4 buildings. We should pretty easily be able to find all those people inside.
Working at the Riften fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket.
Rare trinkets, the finest oddities
So
from
I'm not going to go inside yet. I'm going to save right here. I said save. And end the video. This has been Let's Play Skyrim. Next time we'll get cracking on the Bee and Barb, one of the last 4 buildings we have yet to clear out in Riften. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.